In Newcastle upon Tyne and Gateshead, lasers lit the sky for 3 days to celebrate New Year's 2022. High-power lasers were set up at the Tyne Bridge, Sage Gateshead, Baltic, Malmason Hotel on a quayside. There was also some lasers at Hadrian's Tower and Civic Centre. In total, there was probably 25 lasers. Local reports say that the public could take turns to control the colour and movement of the lasers by visiting a website. I decided to check if this high-power interactive display is visible from a greater distance. I travelled to South Shields on the Sandhaven coastline, just 8/800ths of a mile, 13 kilometres from Newcastle upon Tyne, according to Google Maps. The photos are not of good quality because they were taken with a phone at night, but I can confirm that the laser beam had a huge range, as you can see in my video. Once I read that a laser can blind a pilot and cause a plane crash. Then I was wondering if it is possible. At the moment, I am convinced that this is not permitted. I strongly advise against such games, and that it should be ended up in an imprisonment. I will say more. On August 19th, 1969, during a laser experiment, the distance to the moon was calculated by reflecting a laser beam from a retroreflector placed on the moon by astronauts from the American Apollo 11 program. Where did the idea of the laser come from? The theoretical foundation necessary to build a laser were created by Albert Einstein, Nobel laureate in 1916, and suggested that under the right conditions, atoms can release excess energy in the form of light, either spontaneously or when exposed to light. The German physicist Rudolf Walter Ladenburg first observed stimulated emission in 1928, although at that time it did not seem to have any practical application. It was only in 1950 that Alfred Kastler, the Nobel Prize winner, solved the most important technical problem, enabling the construction of the first device. Thanks to numerous improvements, this technology became cheap and quickly attracted great interest, mainly to the popularization of CD-ROM and DVD drives and laser printers. The laser produces a very narrow beam of light that is useful for many technologies and instruments, even those you can use at home. What is a laser? In simple terms, light particles, photons, excited by electricity, emit energy in the form of light. This light is focused by a beam. This creates a laser beam. The letters in the word laser are an acronym for the light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. How does a laser work? Light travels in waves, and the distance between the peaks of the wave is called the wavelength. Each color of light has a different wavelength. For example, blue light has a shorter wavelength than red light. Sunlight and typical incandescent light is made up of light of many different wavelengths. Our eyes see this mixture of wavelengths as white light. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe and watch the next videos.